What's up, y'all? It's your host, Sensei. I came back here on another episode, and I'm my co-host, bro. I'm with
Brian LeConte.
How you doing, my boy?
I'm doing freaking fantastic.
Fair,
it's good to
fair.
see you.
Of
It's
course.
been like 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, it has been like 2 years since the last time I seen you.
It's crazy.
Jeez, you look the exact same.
I appreciate that. that. You look better.
See, thank you. It's rent being paid. Starts to feel good.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, it's a good
skincare, new hairdo, and everything.
You want to know something that's funny?
What's up?
The only thing I do for my skin is just exercise. That's like that's all it is.
Oh man.
Because I realize the more that I use products and things like that, it just messes with my skin.
Really?
It just does.
You didn't get your skincare routine didn't change when you got a girlfriend?
Funny enough, no. I started to use less when I got into a relationship because I was just watching her like add so many different things. And I was like, I don't think the face is supposed to take all that scrubbing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
I believe it.
But then the more that I did some more research on it, I realized that women just get their hormones change more frequently.
Yeah,
so like that's
100%.
kind of why they get more acne and things of that nature.
It's wild.
So yeah, that's more of the thing about it. But no, it's if there's any skincare folks that want to sponsor me, I'll definitely try it out.
100%.
So yeah, that's the plan. That's the
Buy
plan.
more beautiful equipment like this will be a good time.
Exactly. What's the goal? Actually, I was talking about this with my homeboy the other day. How do you want to look when you're like 27, 32? Because I've heard that's like when you're like the peak fineness.
Yeah. So I'm about like 185 pounds right now. 190. When I'm 30, I intend to be bald with a big beard. I want to be like 230 pounds.
230?
Pure muscle. I want to be built like a fucking tree stump and everything.
I
think, and this is at 30. So I think at 29 in 6 months, I'm gonna hop on a ton of steroids and just turn into a monster. I want to be doing jiu-jitsu tournaments and just rolling through like a brick house. It'll be a good time.
Wait, are you allowed to compete if you're on the road?
Yeah,
you are?
Jiu-jitsu is a steroid sport, and every once in a while when I compete, I get somebody on a little bit of juice, and it's like, oh wow, this is interesting.
That sounds okay.
I'm flying through the air right now.
You know what? Now I was gonna talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, but now I'm intrigued. So they're allowed to take, like, let's say Trend for example, and then they just go at it.
One of the youngest world champions in history, Mika Galvao, his girlfriend actually won the gold medal in the Olympics for wrestling.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then they broke up.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. And the blonde chick and everything.
Yeah.
The dude, he's Brazilian, as a lot of the best are. And he tested positive for Trend at like 19, 20 years old. Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to do that to my body. Because I feel like that will set yourself up to never be able to like live up to that greatness of the body.
Your balls shrink and everything. You know that?
True, yeah. Is that why the testosterone because it's a crazy dip?
Yeah, because your body just is like, oh, we don't have to produce it.
Yeah,
from somewhere else.
All the free testosterone gets just dropped.
Yeah. So maybe I shouldn't ruin my hormones, but also how fun would it be to be just a freak? Because 30 is your prime, but then your prime continues for like what, 5 more years, and
it starts to drop at 35. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So if you're already on it, then you could just have 5 years of just crazy dominance, and that could be fun. Or I'll not be a fucking weirdo and just try and be like healthy and everything and run. It would be fun. Like, I don't know if I'd be running if I was 230 pounds.
I don't think you would be either. Swim, maybe. No, you would sink. No, I don't think that. I don't think that works. That's fair.
You know, black people got denser bones than other.
That sounds racist. What are we talking about?
Yeah, David Goggins was talking about it. How because he's talking about no excuses, but black people in general have denser bones, and that's one of the reasons. One of the reasons that stereotype came about and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I'll definitely look into that.
It's wild. Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah.
Should be good for MMA. But.
So for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm assuming it originated in Brazil?
Yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu originated in Brazil, but Jiu-Jitsu started in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
one of the guys came to Brazil and taught the Gracie family how to do it, and then Elio Gracie was like the patriarch, and he had like 14 kids or something.
Oh wow, okay.
With I think a lot of different women, and he made like a clan of just assassins, and they started killing. Yeah, the first UFC champion ever was a 170-pound Gracie guy named Hoist Gracie.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah. He wasn't even the best one, but they were going around just beating.
He wasn't even the best one in the family?
No.
That's
the best
wild.
was Henzo Gracie. But apparently he was just uncontrollable, and the dad wanted to have be able to tell him what to do.
Set up hierarchy of what's going on.
He was just killing people in Japan and Brazil and going around, and he was like, let me just choose Hoist. And it's a better demonstration because Hoist was 170, and that's not that big compared to the freaks that the UFC had.
Yeah,
so it's like, all right, this is a great example of how good they are.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like a superhero story.
It is. Yeah.
Like what's like Kung Fu Panda? That's literally the story of Kung Fu Panda. Jeez. Honestly, that's one of the scariest thing when it comes to like fighting, because I feel like a lot of people get this. A lot of people, when they learn to fight, they'll treat it like what they would do if they would gain superpowers.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't deserve to be walking around with like loaded Glocks on them all the time. And it's their
100%.
one and then the two. Because it's like, I feel like there's a lot of people that aren't naturally sane when they do gain that extra power.
100%.
Like, I've always heard the conversation of when people, like, for example, get money, then they just start acting like complete weirdos.
Yeah.
Or when they buy a gun and then they just get they just go,
that's
they're like always ready for whatever all the time they want it. And then I'm sitting back and I'm realizing y'all don't need that. y'all do not need that.
Well, let me ask you. Grant Cardone was talking about, I guess he's controversial now, but he used to be just a real estate guy. And let me ask you, do you think money enhances like who you are and makes you more of who you already are, or do you think money changes you?
I feel like money gives you a chance to open the doors that you didn't even know were possible, and you get a chance to behave in ways that you did not know were possible in the first place, right? So I've been talking with a lot of people when it comes to once you finally do get money, and then there's another level when you get to the FU money, when you start being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want to do it. And I feel like it does tend to have people stray away from the way that they really should be for society to work.
Right.
So as people keep getting this bread, they start to not so much decentralize what is important to them, but they start putting that money as God for them, right?
No, 100%.
And as long as they're able to keep the hierarchies around that let them do whatever they want, i.e. money, for example, you tend to have things go wrong. So that's my thing. Like even when you get to like Hollywood or honestly, when people start making a lot of money, you get a lot of problems with like honestly every part of the economy. For example, I was even talking with my girlfriend about how NBA players, like when they get their first really big check and they're like, $100,000 car, $5 million house, 10 baby mamas. Like, you tend to not know what to do once the bread starts coming, because you'll be like, wait, I could buy a supercar in 2 weeks.
Right.
And then I can buy another supercar in another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You tend to start looking at things differently.
Which is crazy.
How about you?
Turn them big spenders. I wonder. So what do you think? Do you think that a person, when they get a lot of money, that's just who they are on the inside, or they're changing as a person?
I believe if you don't have a thing that centers you, it will change you for the worst. Because of like, for example, I don't think people should be able to eat caviar. Like that shouldn't be a taste that people just naturally gravitate towards. Because that's ridiculous. Why are you eating $100 spoon of this? That's crazy. So having little earthly possessions and joys like that, I don't think that's good for the average person.
I hear you.
Especially if it's an example of you didn't even work for the money that you got. It was just like an instant overnight.
Yeah.
How about you? What you thinking?
I think it reveals who you are a lot underneath and everything. And like I think just right now in modern society, there's never been a more important time to be self-disciplined for exactly the reason you just mentioned and everything. You know, we're richer than we ever have been, and it's hard to look at it like that because you know things are so hard and
things are
many
so
different
expensive
directions.
for the average individual.
Exactly. And people are struggling. But when it comes down to it, like we have a greater diversity of food and everything that we have access to than any like Roman emperor ever had, you know, which is crazy, for sure. But
I have a better immune system than anyone in the Roman Empire.
Right. Like we can get medicine for all these things. Like the baby mortality rate is way lower than the richest people ever back in the day had to deal with like three of their kids dying, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's why they had so many kids in the first place, because they were like, well, 3 of y'all are gonna starve. So.
Exactly. Yeah, or just die from polio or some crazy shit.
Kidnap, bear grabbed you when you walked away that way.
So no, this is the thing about this is so wild. I was listening to a podcaster from California. And he was like, I can't believe people still beat their kids. Oh my gosh, people still beat their white guy, right? This is the reason why I think black folks tend to hit their kids more than other people do, and why I support it. I think the higher the stakes, right? The greater the consequences of messing up, the harder you have to nail into a kid's head, hey, don't make that mistake again, right? So if we wanted to extend it even outside of America, if you're in India or something and you're worried about a tiger coming to grab you,
anacondas,
you know what I mean?
Are a problem.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
That's an actual problem that people have to face. So.
Yeah, fucking pythons and shit too. So yeah, if your kid has one chance, you can't just be like, hey, Timmy, why did you go out? You know what I mean? We gotta talk through this. No, you're probably gonna be like, hey, never do that again. You'll die. I'm old now. You know what I mean? It'd be crazy. So I think that's the best argument for hitting your kids is if they don't have a chance to make a mistake. You know
Especially emphasis on the not a chance to make a mistake. I remember talking with like elder Africans when they first came to this country. It's one of my close family friends, when they came, that's when what's his name? That's when, oh my God, the riots in California. The black man that died by the police.
Rodney King.
Yes, they came here like literally the week of Rodney King, and they had to like witness America go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And now they have kids and kids, and they're always like, why are you outside? It's 8 p.m. It's dark. What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
And that is a very reasonable response. Very reasonable.
100%. Yeah.
So when it comes to things like that, it's hard to sit down and explain structural racism to like an 8-year-old, but I can't explain, let me hit you a couple times. Like you will remember, you will remember that.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, it's definitely
at the podcast we support beating your kids. It's very important. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Not really, but
context. There always has to be context. There's always context. Oh my God.
No, 100%. And that's I don't know. That's just so difficult.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to poverty, like. I was studying psychology, right? And when we got to the class of child psychology, they kept talking about how the only time is quote unquote right to beat your kids is in the context of the society that you're in and the community that you're in. Where it's like, if you are beating your kids and then they go to school, they tell their friends and none of their friends are getting beat, it's kind of crazy. It makes them feel wild.
It's so relative.
But if you switch it and everyone else is getting whooped and you're the only one that's not, that can end up ostracizing your children from the friends that they do have already. So disciplining kind of is integral when you're looking at community building in the first place. So it's difficult to tell these parents, especially when they are in poverty, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna explain to my kid why throwing a plate against the wall or playing football in the damn house is a problem when I have work in the morning. When, keep in mind, I work the 16-hour shift. I'm gonna wake up in 7 hours to go do another 16-hour shift. To pay for their school fees, to pay for this house, to pay for this food, and rent is expensive. So like, let's really be serious.
Of course. No, it's all relative. I feel like you talk about like the kid getting beat versus other people getting beat. I feel like our experience with trauma is also relative to how the people around us experience trauma. I think in the same way with poverty too. Like somebody in America who's like, damn, I hate being poor. But if you looked at them relative to somebody in Haiti or something, you know, they're kind of wealthy. So I think trauma is the same thing. Maybe if, I don't know, there's so many fucked up examples I could use, you know, but if you're like growing up in a country where people get killed all the time, maybe that's not as traumatizing to you as if you're in a place where nobody gets killed ever and you see a dead body. That might fuck you up forever, you know, and somebody else's chilling. You know, yeah.
That's one of the biggest things, especially like when I go to work now and I'm working with like older people as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, I literally fled the Liberian Civil War.
Jesus Christ.
I did that at 13. So when I come to America and I see people talk about racism, systemic racism, I can't look at that shit and be like, take that shit seriously.
Which is so tough. For sure. Yeah.
But if I was to sit here and like tell them like, yeah, no, you're right.
That
would be crazy on the whole systemic racism in that part too. So it's very difficult when you are sitting and talking with someone about having their lived experience be justified or de-justified, like it's not serious. So that's definitely tough. But there's a part that I was missing when it comes to, what was the thing they're saying earlier?
Relative trauma or relative poverty?
Yes, that's why. That's why always the conversation of when black people started moving into suburbs and they're the poorest kid in a really rich neighborhood, how that dichotomy kind of like puts everything on their head.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's so crazy, bro. And then people's perception of like what racism is so relative too. You know, you ever heard that black people can't be racist? Yeah. You heard that?
But semantics, language.
No, it's so wild. A good friend of mine, another comic in the scene, she was telling me, she was like, Brian, black people can't be racist. You don't understand.
They can be prejudiced.
Like, yeah. No, I was like, any black person who's ever said that has never played on a travel basketball team where there was only one white kid. And his dad's not the coach.
Where they actually have to be good.
Exactly. And all he can do is shoot, and now he's off one day. And you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've never participated in that, but I can tell you, that kid got
one job.
Torched. That kid got torched. Or he's the one white kid in an all black team against another all black team. It's shit. Yeah. So it's all very relative.
They start putting him in pick and rolls over and over and over.
Exactly. Yeah. He's just getting dunked on. They know that he's fresh meat. So yeah. But at the same time, you know, that kid might turn into a phenomenal young man just because he persevered.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Real quick on the Don't Judge a Book by its cover. I went to the gym the other day. We're running fives. It's like a Saturday morning, so people just like, they're like, oh yeah, no, you come to hoop at Saturday morning. So all like the overseas dudes, they went varsity, they played varsity all 4 years. Just like genuine hoopers are here, right? There's this like relatively tall Asian dude. When Asian people are taller than like 5'11", I think that's greedy. He was walking around at 6'4" and beautiful. I was like,
Christ.
what is? And they still weren't trying to pick him up. But I said, fuck is y'all? You know what? Y'all don't even know. Don't even worry about it. Hey, come on, squad. And he proceeds to do 3 trash moves, like bad shots like Shin, throws the ball out of bounds, shoots another bad. But while everyone's trying to cuss him, he was like, hey, hold on, let me just warm up. And I said, oh, he's gonna hoop. He's gonna hoop crazy. And he goes to score the next 12 consecutive points. Just bro, tween, side step to the 3. I said, yeah, he's one of them. Long step over it to get the layup. I said, you got that shit in your bag? I said, yeah, no, you're.
Jesus. Where was he from? Do you know what country?
No, I don't even know.
Was he like East Asian or Southeast Asian?
Definitely looks Korean type of.
Got you. Yeah. No, that's valid. That's important too.
So I was sitting there looking at it. I was like, y'all know y'all were racist. That was racism.
No, 100%, dog. I remember I used to do a bit about black privilege and everything. Because
they know you're good at basketball. They just automatically pick you up.
There was a dude at the gym in Kenosha. He's like 6'1", white dude, like muscular. He had the sleeves on, and I had just baggy shorts, like a dumb t-shirt, and I got picked over him. And he was a grown man. I was in 8th grade. I was 13 years old, and they chose me over this grown man. Granted, I was much better than him. It paid off. But black privilege was like, there we go. If I was an insurance salesman and everything, maybe it would be different. Speaking of insurance, I was thinking about it. No.
So the healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, he was honestly assassinated. That's the only way you can put it. Murder is not even
100%.
But he was assassinated outside of his building, going into one of their annual meetings. And allegedly they caught the guy, Luigi.
Yeah, Mangione. Yeah.
And that story is crazy.
It is crazy. And because of where I am in Milwaukee and the comics I hang around, I'm around a lot of very left-leaning people who are fucking ecstatic. I remember when I was at the club, somebody mentioned it. He was like, "Oh, you guys hear about the healthcare CEO?" Explosion of applause. The whole applause. People were, woo! Yeah! It was crazy.
Bro,
crazy
honestly,
shit,
this was probably one of the craziest This is going to be one of the craziest, what's it called? Trials in human history. It's going to be crazy because of once he got shot and he was murdered, right? I saw cops saying, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I saw college students saying you do what you want to do. I saw rednecks in rural communities saying you got to do what you do.
100%.
And the fact that you got all these different demographics, got Trumpies, got people voting for Biden, you got Bernie folks that were like, I'm with this. Should
Across
be
the board.
Scary.
It should be.
That
it
should be
scary.
scary.
Yeah, it makes you think that maybe things are pretty fucked up. Then, if you got
just
this,
the collective hate of healthcare, of healthcare CEOs.
It's wild. I had no idea it was this bad.
Really?
I had no idea people hated health insurance. Companies and everything that much.
Have you ever had a chronic injury?
No, I haven't had a chronic disease. Thank God and everything.
Many.
And then the biggest healthcare we had scare in my family was when my mom got cancer. But I guess she had so much cancer they couldn't deny her or something. She's okay now. But I was like, Jesus Christ. No, so I it was wild. I've been pretty insulated from that,
Bro, the amount of stories that I've heard of people just being like, they will deny everything, especially for the United Health Group. They denied 30% of their claims. 32%. That's fucking
wild.
That's nearly 1 in 3. The thing is, every single month they will take your $200, their $300, $400,
and you don't know until it fucks you up
for the chance to be insured.
Yeah,
and you're telling me Curry has more likelihood to hit a 3 than they are to take your claim? That's insane. That's bizarre.
It's horrifying. Bro.
And the thing is, I need to mention this demographic even more. I gotta mention it. I saw CEOs being like, I saw CEOs in Minnesota. CEOs in Minnesota talking about like, the healthcare system gotta change. I'm like, how the fuck?
That's crazy.
So the fact that it's this widespread is wild to me.
Yeah, I couldn't believe.
And honestly, the more that the news started to come out, it feels like the incompetence of NYPD was purposeful. Like they didn't give a fuck. They really didn't give a fuck because when it first came out, they were like, oh, he shot the guy, got on a bike, went to Central Park, got rid of his backpack,
filled with Monopoly money. He's anti-hero supervillain shit, bro. That was the Riddler type shit, bro.
Throws the bag, and then he's just moving around with no bag. It turns out he actually had the bag. So what I'm thinking happened, they caught the wrong guy, and they said, hey, everybody.
Bro, that'd be crazy. Or somebody else saw his bag and then just, this is gonna be a great troll. That'd be wild. Remember when the obelisk were being put up, like I met one of the guys who did that and everything. The guy, the friend of mine that I told you about. He was one of those people. He has one in his house, and he was joking. He's like, me and my buddies, we would just drop them around places. They just bought them. But bro, I didn't realize I sold health insurance. I was a health insurance salesman for 48 hours. It was wild.
Oh wow.
And
you were one of the bad guys,
bro. I had no idea. And then this should have been my sign because I told people like, oh, what am I doing for like a job right now? I was like, I'll start selling insurance with this one company and everything. And they were like, oh my God. It was just disgusting.
You're a bad person.
This is interesting. I decided not to continue that job just because I realized like as a salesman, you got to be all in, right? And I'm all in on comedy. So instead, I'm just focusing on a job I can do where you just clock out, and then you can, you got your night. You got your morning, and you got your night that you can dedicate to the craft.
But as a health insurance, you're doing that shit 24/7.
Yeah, because you're grinding, you're calling people and everything.
And one of the things is, I feel like, remember when the Wolf of Wall Street, when they're selling like just the worst stocks of all those terrible penny stocks?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with health insurance,
which is wild. Which is wild. Yeah,
and the fact that the American public just has to eat it is the wild part. And honestly, I feel like what happened when he was able to murder him, everybody collectively was like, oh shit, you could do that? Yeah. Because one of the problems with healthcare, you can try and be like, oh, you should have went and sued United Healthcare for not taking your thing or but it's like, good luck. Good luck.
Billions.
This is a $1 trillion
industry. Absolutely.
And you think you, with your 1 to 2 lawyers, is gonna come battle with these people?
No, not a fucking chance. And they own a lot of our politicians and everything. These are the industries that do run our country.
They're the people that have lobbyists. They're able to be like, no, you have to own life insurance. You have to loan insurance.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of part of the problem.
And
continue.
No, on top of all this, very good looking man, and. That means a lot. I had so many friends sipping over him, posted on Instagram and everything. I thought
Luigi Bay was going crazy.
It was a bit much. I feel like Luigi is too unserious of a name for this many women to be sipping over him. Imagine moaning Luigi. All right, think about that. Imagine moaning Luigi. So I was like, all right, I might have to. It's all good.
Real quick, before I talk about how beautiful this man is, bro, I feel like when he was able to shoot him, do you know in safaris when they don't when safari like cabanas like drive through and no animal just says, oh, this is like 5 snacks. Instead, the way they see it is this is a ginormous animal that just walks by grazing. He doesn't eat nobody. He doesn't do nothing. Let them go. But when they shot him, it would be as if a cheetah goes and runs and jumps right through and hits somebody and just eats someone. That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. That's wild.
And the fact that everyone was collectively like, wow, you could actually do something to these companies. Really broke the mold for all these people.
I think so.
And honestly, I think one of the scariest part about it, especially for healthcare companies, they're like, oh shit, people can start just like doing shit to CEOs.
You really could. Well, the wealth inequality in America is, I believe, the most drastic it's been since like the Gilded Age. Yeah. Since like Vanderbilt and JP Morgan were just, owning entire industries. Like they owned steel, or they own timber. You own the forest. You own oil. That's crazy. Yeah. So back when those guys just had entire industries, that's how bad the wealth inequality in America is, and it's very interesting. On the left, you have you have different sections where you have people who are who are anti-gun, and then you have people who are pro-gun, right? And then you have the left-leaning people that are pro-gun that I feel like are reading Marx's thing. Marx is very pro-gun. And you gotta
be able to defend yourself. Yeah,
exactly. So then, I don't know. I feel like people in power kind of understand, that when people are armed, it's like we're all humans. Yeah, we're all humans.
If you attack my family for long enough, even though you're not directly killing my family, I gotta go. That's what his alleged manifesto said. He's like, I know I am not the right person to have this conversation with, but you have to look at this now. You have to deal with this. And honestly, if they don't deal with it, more things will happen.
No, I'm not saying anybody deserves to get shot.
No.
But I will say people in power should understand that, people can do wild stuff. But they can respond.
But speaking of one of the reasons why this whole scenario is so interesting to me, first of all, I'm saying you do not shoot people. That's let's be very, very clear. We are not condemning murder. It was flat out murder.
No. We are condemning murder. You said do not condemn.
Do not condemn. What do
you said condemn. Do you mean condone?
Condone, yes. We do not condone.
Guess what gets clipped and everything else? Do not condemn the murder. That's valid.
Because I get out of this serious one. This was a man with kids and a family. This is a real person. We do not condone it. Yeah. But the most interesting part to me is he did not shoot a random person. He literally went Oh, the gun jammed. Let me fix it real quick. Just shoot him. He could have shot the lady that came to like rescue him.
Yeah.
He didn't. He just shot the dude and disappeared.
Yeah.
When it comes to shooting, do you know how many times people be shooting just
Right.
Oh,
Right.
I hate my job. I hate my boss. You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
That Starburst. I gotta shoot that. Oh, I gotta shoot the church up. Oh, I gotta go to fucking wall.
And mark the bullets and everything, dog.
Yeah.
You know, deny, defend, dispose, and everything, bro.
He had a person in mind. That's a really
I haven't heard
thing.
of people marking bullets in a while and everything, dog. That's crazy.
I didn't know
That's
you could
crazy for sure.
do that. Not even to miss the fact that it was a ghost gun.
Right.
That's the part that was.
I heard it was 3D printed. Was it 3D printed?
Yeah, 3D printed ghost gun.
That's the future. That's the future. We're 3D print.
He was an engineer. He was an engineer. But let's speak about how handsome this man was.
Yeah, crazy.
So you have this beautiful man. He had his whole life set up for him. He was a engineer from the let me rewind. Rewind.
Yeah.
He went to a preparatory school.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gilroy or something. All boys. All boys school. Yeah.
Valedictorian. Straight A students.
Absolutely. Gave the
Went
speech and
to
everything.
Penn. He went to the
Ivy League school.
and this could still affect him.
Exactly. Do you see the thing in his back and everything?
Yes.
I heard
bro.
allegedly that his landlord was saying because his back was so bad that he couldn't like have sex and everything.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't know how his landlord knows that, but that's
Yes. Someone got cams in his apartment.
I
Where
don't
the bitches
know.
go?
I don't know. Yeah, I wonder for sure. But yeah, no, good looking fella.
And that's what's even scarier when you have like a dude like that is able to get affected by this thing too.
Exactly.
Because his family
You know how
is
old he
rich.
was?
He was like 26.
Exactly. You know what's significant about 26?
What?
That's when you hop off your parents' healthcare. You know what I mean?
I'd be mad
You know what I
too.
mean? Yeah, bro.
Mad
Yeah.
too,
So
bro.
it's so crazy. It's so crazy. But he did it, and I completely agree with you. This could be the trial of the fucking century.
Because how are you gonna get a jury that that's not corrupted? Like that's
I don't know. Yeah. Find people who've never dealt with anything like that, bro. That's crazy. That's very rare.
What is it? 70% of Americans is out of shape?
Yeah, it's wild. And I've talked to so many different people, and it's either one of my best friends. He had a fucking hernia I didn't know about. He was telling how they were like telling him wait, and they were like trying to fuck with him and tell him like he shouldn't try and get any type of procedure. My dad has a hernia now. Another one of my friends, she was saying how her friend's dad couldn't get insulin until he died, and then they changed it, and they're like, well, now you can get your insulin because your circumstances changes. And she was like, well, what circumstance changed? He died. That was the only circumstance change. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The camera's looking. Okay, it's still going.
All right, we good. So, bro, it is wild, and my eyes were open.
Fuck?
Crazy. All right, my eyes have been open to all types of fuckery. Did you read that they were using AI? I don't know.
That was my next, bro. Because before we even get to the healthcare company using AI, so there's this story about this one dude. He was running a company. He's like, hey, HR, what's going on? I haven't had a candidate in like a long time.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? We'll see about this. He goes, he puts his resume inside the.
And who's this?
I don't remember his name. He goes and he puts his. He's like a higher up, like a really higher up. He's been trying to get a workers for the longest, but he just wasn't able to. So he was talking to HR, and they're like, they're just incompetent. I'm sorry, what to tell you. So he's like, are you sure you are looking at these resumes? They're like, oh, of course we are. So he's like, okay. Don't even worry about it. He goes, he puts his resume inside the thing. And then he goes, gets denied for an entry position. So he goes and he comes up to the HR. He's like, what happened? What happened? So it turned out they were using AI to like filter out everything.
It's so crazy.
But the thing is, they were asking for like, let's say for example, it was tech. They were asking for like 15 years of experience of social media, of TikTok and things like that. But TikTok's only been out for 7 years. So it was like one of those situations where it's like, you promised me that you were looking through these resumes. You know what? Don't even worry about it. All y'all are fired. Get out. So to imagine to use some software like that for fucking healthcare.
It's wild.
It's insane.
It's wild. Did you hear about that trick? Somebody put in white letters at the bottom of their resume, disregard everything on the resume. This is like a qualified candidate and everything. And the AI just read that and made sure that they got the job. So anybody who got it, it was white, but the AI can just fucking read everything written there. So it's, I don't know. That'd be wild. Yeah, you can't use AI for that type of shit, bro. You can't use AI. One of them,
especially it's
that
person
they
to
used
person.
was-
It's person to person.
One of them they used had a 90% error rate and everything. It's just crazy. You can't be if you're gonna use AI, you gotta have it like learning with somebody. It's gotta be an assistant. You know what I mean?
it should be getting vetted with the human being.
Right.
Like,
You
let's
can't
be
get
serious.
a brand new AI and just be all right. This is all these people's lives in your hand.
And you know what the thing is? I remember
Yeah.
that story too. They kept using it. They kept using the system
didn't
because
know
they're
that,
like,
bro.
hey,
That's
we're saving
crazy.
all this money. Hey, I mean,
That's crazy, dog.
did you watch that one, the Incredibles, where what is his name? Mr. Incredibles guy.
I gotta double check it. Sure. Which one?
The
Frozen?
first one.
Oh,
Yeah.
the first one.
The first one. The main character, the guy.
Let's call him Mr. Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
The young, because he was an insurance salesman. I completely forgot about that. Bro. And the old lady is like, but I paid. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we can't. It's just really
Crazy.
Jake.
Yeah.
We can't help you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
goes, he looks around, he's like, hey, you go do this, go over there, da, 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 da. And then it worked. And then his boss reams him out.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gets fired on this. He said, you know what? Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
He chokes the shit out of you. He chokes the shit out of you.
Bro, Mr. Incredible was the original Luigi Mangione.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm
dog.
telling
That's
you, bro.
crazy,
I'm
dog.
telling you.
If Mr. Incredible was really a hero, he would have just kept going up.
He would have stayed in the building just slowly,
Made his way up, dog. That'd be wild. Cause what was that Lego movie where it was like Mr. Business and everything? You ever see the Lego
No,
movie?
I've never seen the Lego movie.
The main villain was was called Mr. Business, and they were
Okay.
fighting Mr. Business. If they had a part 2 and it was Mr. Insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and they got a guy who looks like he's from Greece. Slick white hair. Oh man, I've seen such great memes about it and everything, and I've had a couple comic friends do great bits about it. You know, what is the thing? You never know. You want to strike while the iron is hot, you know, and do some some topical shit and everything. I'm gonna show tonight. You'll hear some topical stuff from like a couple months ago, and I'm gonna see if it's still relative. I'll see if it's
What's
still
your favorite part about being a comedian?
Oh, bro, I've never been like in a really creative like fucking field before. You know, it was like all sports, and then I was in STEM for college and everything. But my STEM was like exercise science, and now I'm fucking creating and everything. You know, and I got shit on when I was a kid for like some of the papers I wrote. They teacher was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. I did great in speech classes.
Okay.
Yeah. I had
Speech is just vibes.
yeah, right.
Just
It was speech and debate. I did well. And I remember I won a debate one time, and everybody in the class except for 2 people had voted that I won the debate. And then while we were outside in the hallway, the teacher convinced everybody in the class that I should have lost. And which is, hey, I don't even think she had a bias against me. It might have been valid. It might have been like, hey, Brian won just off of bias.
Y'all like him. That's what this was.
Yeah, which is so fair. That'd be crazy if you know.
That reminds me of Pretty Privileged. Because I be telling folks the best thing you could do is look beautiful. Please lock in, bro. Lock in.
No, I wonder for sure. Because in comedy, we was talking about with the food and everything, how you can't satisfy everybody. If somebody's like a real good barbecue chef, I was just telling this before, and then he serves food to somebody, and somebody's like, oh, I really don't like chicken and everything. I don't like barbecue. Then that wouldn't make the guy a bad barbecue chef. You know,
Yeah.
it just mean that person didn't like fucking barbecue, and that's
They
what
didn't
it's like
use the
in
GPS
comedy.
correctly.
Yeah,
You're like, go to a different place, bro.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no. You when it comes to like people's looks, like some people hate on Matt Rife a lot. Some people say it's because of the content. Some people think it's because of his looks and everything, you know. And some people are just gonna hate on him because of his good looks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Some people are gonna hate on women just because they don't want to hear a woman talk about politics and everything. You know, some people are gonna hate on this guy just because he sounds like a drunk and a lot of people's dads. Yeah, that ass for sure.
Honestly.
So I don't know, but you know, that's my favorite part. Why do you want to get in comedy?
I believe I'm one of the funniest humans that is ever
Oh, yeah.
human. I'm not gonna lie. I
love it.
believe
I love it. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
one of the funniest humans that ever human.
I fucking
because
love
it's
it.
like
Yeah.
I sit my literally. I drove like 5 hours out here.
Yeah.
I was doing bits. It was funny. It was funny to me. I enjoyed myself, and that's one of my things because I feel like if I laugh. It's funny. It's funny to me. Like, it's
right,
funny,
which is important because
and even speaking on that, because of like when it comes to content, I would like to tell people just make a thing that you would like.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this right now, you are not that special. There are millions of people just like you
Couldn't
that
agree
would
more.
love to hear you yap.
Couldn't agree more.
Because they
I
like
couldn't
them.
agree more.
That's
100%. Yeah.
So if you're able to be authentically yourself,
Yeah.
you will find hordes of people that at least fit your demographic, look like you, and wants to sound like you once you get to a certain level. So
I couldn't agree with this man more. I think that's one of the biggest and most important things in comedy. There's literally, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. So yeah, I fucking dig it, and I think you would be an awesome comedian. All you would have to do is deal with the process to becoming an awesome comedian,
For sure.
which can suck. You know what I mean?
Bro,
it can suck.
have you ever been in a room and nobody laughed?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you'll do that to you?
And my saving grace is that there are comedians that are fucking phenomenal that I love, and they were talking about like deep into being professionals, they would bomb, and I was like, how can you bomb? You're a fucking god. You know, you're a comedy guy. When people like fucking Norm McDonald's different, but Mark Norman and everything talks about bombing, or Louis C.K. talks about bombing, or Marlon Wayans talks about bombing. It's like, what
Dave
the fuck?
Chappelle.
Yeah, I'm like, what the
how
fuck
the
is happening?
did
That's
you
impossible.
know?
Yeah, literally, bro. They're monsters. But yeah, so in my mind, I always come back to that. I'm like, hey, that's fine. So then, yeah, you just find comedy that you find funny, and other people are gonna find it funny too. And then to get booked in a lot of rooms, you have to play the game of overlap. What do I find funny that these people want to find funny? I do shows in fucking all around here, so a lot of different types of humor.
Because my first joke I want to tell, I want to go on stage and be like, one of the things that was deterring me from being a comic was I don't know the rules of this. Like, if I was to stand here, pull my meat out, and just violently start jacking off in front of all y'all, what are y'all allowed? Are y'all allowed to get me off of here? and then move from there. That's what I want my first joke to be.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be a wild start, and I do love it. We were talking about being like jaded, like comics and everything. I never want to be like sitting in a chair just being like, that wouldn't be funny. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly, because that's funny to me. That's so funny to me, and I don't want to be in my head just thinking about how other people would fucking react.
Do you like Family Guy?
I love Family Guy.
And that's one of my things. Because like anytime someone tries to tell me that Family Guy is not funny, I'll be like, did you get your meat sucked off of that? Like, did somebody give you a $10 bill because you said that? Because like Family Guy is hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yes. Hilarious.
It's one of the funniest animated sitcoms of all time. It's probably top 5 all time.
It's been going for 20, 30 years.
So,
I mean,
oh my God,
somebody must like it.
100%. 100%. No, it's up there with South Park and Boondocks. 100%.
Boondocks this is one of the greatest shows. I'm so mad that they canceled it.
I heard they canceled it because they were coming at BET and Tyler Perry.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard Tyler Perry was like, nah, they can't be. Did you see the Tyler Perry episodes? Bro, that was great. That was great. Is Tyler Perry gay?
I don't know that man. You love what you love. That ain't. I put a dose of this funny. He popped out at ATL at the basketball game and the whole Medea fit, and then he was like doing a little dance he did. And I'm like, some people just like the drag of it all. So hey, shouts out to you, bro. I
think it'd be good if he was gay, if he came out, just because
he would lose so much money if he came out.
I wonder, but I feel like it would be worth it. Like
Black Christians in the South.
Tough.
Black Christians in the South.
I don't know. It seems like he's such like maybe I'm overstepping on like his personal life and everything, but it seems like he's such a great role model for people too want to be like creatives and
He's
and industry and everything.
He has a whole studio. Yeah,
exactly.
He's one of them.
Exactly. So you just have that example. You know, it might allow people to like have a diversified look of what that's supposed to look like. You know, because I have quite a few gay friends who feel boxed in by like what they're supposed to be.
Okay, for sure.
So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Honestly, one of the reasons why I love Tyler Perry, I feel like more people should follow him business wise because he keeps making Madea movies.
Exactly.
In my opinion, are terrible. Like they layered, anytime it's on and I'm around white folks and they're watching, I'm like, no, I can't have y'all watch this around me. Change, because there's a whole bunch of stereotypes and just like very noted storylines and things of that nature. You know exactly what's gonna go next, and it's not that good to me. But he keeps making them. They keep making all the money, and he's able to fund other things in his life.
100%.
And more people need to be able to sit down, go to their trash jobs, and just do it as it ends to a mean to help society go forward.
Well, I wonder.
You can't just love everything you do. That's difficult.
I wonder. But he's a fucking workhorse, bro. To be pumping out that many movies, it's crazy to me.
Bro. He be dropping like 4 a year.
It's crazy.
For a year. 2-hour movies 4 times a year.
It's unbelievable. Did you see his documentary?
No, I've not.
Yeah. It was wild. He's just talking about exactly that. How he's just constantly getting after it. I don't know if there's anybody comparable to that. Taylor Sheridan might be coming up close.
Who's
you
that?
ever watch Yellowstone and everything?
I have seen.
He did Yellowstone, 1923, 1883, Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingston, and Landman. These are 6 of the most popular shows in America, all from one motherfucker, bro. I swear to God. It's so crazy. And he's fucking jacked and good looking, bro. It's wild. I saw him on top. I saw him on a podcast. I was like, who the fuck is this? It's just, he's killing it. And you just have workhorse. You ever heard of Josh Johnson? The comedian?
Yes,
bro.
Bro, there's only a few comedians that I'm like, I admire you as a human being.
Bro, and across the board. We're like, Josh Johnson's that motherfucker, bro. Across the board.
Because I watched him when he first started, like, really making stuff.
Shit. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit, you're going to be, like, really famous. And then he said, you know what? Let me go to YouTube. Literally 8 months. All the followers. Bro. It's like the same trajectory that Schultz had when he started. Like, you know what? Let me just post my stuff on YouTube and that's my fan base there. And 100%. Just 100%. Because every video he drops, it's fucking hilarious. An hour and a half of hilarity. Bro, every single time. He's
dropping specials on just like topical stuff.
It just
bro, on Drake and Kendrick, he has 35 minutes, bro. Do you know how long it takes? Bro, fucking Anthony Jeselnik drops a special every 3 to 4 years. All right, that special was 52 minutes. Josh Johnson just dropped 35 minutes on that. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Motherfucker went, sat down, wrote a whole set. A great set. Amazing. Did you see the one about Diddy? When Diddy had 50 Cent? That shit was hilarious.
Bro, across the street from here, he filmed the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul one. My friend went. She's the biggest comedy fan I probably know and everything. And she was there for that live fucking taping, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's a workhorse. And I'm so goddamn inspired by that guy. And you know, he's the reason why I keep posting my clips, knowing that I'm gonna have friends come to my shows. You know, but this is the thing. I think the most important thing is to be a workhorse in comedy. I want to just be producing so much material.
You just need so much reps that when you do get a chance where a random person says, "Oh, what is going on here?" and you blow them the fuck away. Like, you know what? I'm now a lifelong fan.
That's what I want. That's what I want for sure. And that's what I'm kind of playing around with right now. I'm trying to transition from being like a new like comic that people are like, oh, this guy comes around a lot, to being like a respected, trustworthy feature and everything, which I'm hyped about. I think I've done like 50 or so shows coming up, and now I'm finally like, people know that like, hey, Brian can give you 10 to 15 and he's gonna be set. That means the next thing I have to do is be respected as somebody who can do, or trusted as somebody who can do like 2025s and everything, you know?
That's a lot of time.
Exactly. Yes. But Josh Johnson, man. Josh Johnson, easy money. So it's like I'm just so humbled being around like these kinds of creatives and everything, you know. And I think humility is the key to just being able to move. I have no ego whatsoever in this, and I think that's what's allowed me to keep trying to write and keep progressing. Because if I was like, oh, well, I can do this, I'm gonna relax.
Motherfucker ever.
Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly. So with that being said, other comics have a completely different idea about it. I had a comic tell me, he said, you got to walk in that room and think you're the funniest motherfucker on the planet. Nobody's ever been funnier than you. You're that motherfucker. And you just kept going in and in and in. Like, okay, I got you. That's not my mindset at all. You know, literally, I come in there and I was like, I want everybody to have a good time. You know, I want to just be able to express the jokes that I've come up with, you know, and the points that I want to make. I want to just be able to express that to the best of my ability. Okay. And for us all to have a ball.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. But that, bro.
What's one of your favorite jokes you've done?
Oh man.
Can you do a bit offhand?
I can. I'm always prepared to do one, but I won't do it.
Okay. That's okay.
You'll see a couple tonight. Tonight you got 5 of the minutes I'll do tonight are probably like A material that I like to do at like if I get a chance to like a club, like a very important spot. But then like 5 of the minutes I have tonight are all fucking brand new and everything. So yeah. So I'm it's a challenge. It's a challenge to do some of the stuff I'm trying to do.
What comes to mind when you're trying to like? So okay, I'm gonna back up before I start off with all this my spiel. I feel like it's been so hard to pay attention into what you are doing, like the craft of it, right? And I find it difficult to remove all distraction while you're trying to get some work done, because like I find myself having to put on like a background show when I'm like writing like an episode like this, and I'm like, that is not good for the brain. That's that's terrible for the brain to not be able to like just stop and just focus on the thing that you're trying to do and finish it.
Do you ever do like silent meditation?
Does that just mean like everybody shut the fuck up? Let's just sit down for like let's just everybody breathe. That's one of the things when I actively would not put anything on while I drive, so I can just listen to the silence of it all, just to like get a place.
That I respect that so much. I think that's so good, especially for somebody like you who's just spilling out with so much, so many different things that you're interested in, so many different things that you want to create, and then but you're constantly absorbing content and everything. It's like if you're absorbing it all, how much are you letting yourself
digest and actually understand what's going on? And that's kind of why I hate that I love TikTok so much, because it's like, especially when you're just swiping through, you're like, this is a great think piece, this is a great idea, send it to myself, let me send this and just send this and just keep going. And now you have these 12 different ideas that have absolutely nothing that connects each other to. And it's like, how are you supposed to build upon an idea if you're never sitting down and really like consuming it? Because like when I kind of like find this akin to like writing, because like when I watch a lot of video essays, when I'm sitting down and watching video essays right now, I'm like, this isn't a video essay. You just summarized it and told it back to me. You didn't do anything. Like, what did you think of what did you think of Friends? Like, why was this a really good show? You said nothing about Static Shock. You gave me nothing. You gave me nothing. And that's a problem. Because it's like, if you have people regurgitating everything, that's not good for your brain, because you're not able to like take an idea and then build upon it. And that's kind of the same reason why I hate ChatGPT as well. Because the ChatGPT went offline like a couple days ago, and this is finals week right now. And all these cautions like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
Offline?
Yeah, it was like, it just wasn't working.
Like
it
God.
crashed, right? Because everybody was using it.
Shit,
and I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, you're an English major. What are you using this for?
It's crazy.
You're a psych major. You're like things that you don't need this. You're studying med. You're going to med school. How is ChatGPT supposed to help you with this surgery? Like, what are we doing? So I feel like ChatGPT specifically has been able to give us like this space for stupidity to reign supreme.
Absolutely.
Where you just let this thing go on autopilot and just like bring you up to speed.
But that's what I think our big advantage is going to be as people who are trying to create for ourselves. Is that literally changes your brain chemistry. Like the better writer you are, the better you. I shouldn't say this, but basically improving your writing will improve your ability to think.
Yeah, that's why you should read. That's why reading is important.
That's why I think you should start comedy right now. I know 2 different comics that tell me they use AI to try and come up with their stuff. Yeah. But guess what? I write all my stuff myself. So let's say 5-10 years from now, when the AI can be coming up with comedy for folks and everything, they're all going to sound the same because they're dependent on the machine.
Yeah.
But I sound like me because I'm just writing from my point of view.
Especially when you're using AI for something that's supposed to be creative.
Exactly.
That is like scary.
Of course.
Because of now you can't think of stuff from scratch. You need help from this thing.
Yeah. No,
like I remember when I was in college, I had like a really bad caffeine. Like I needed caffeine for like all my studies or things of that nature. Where I would go and I'd get like a drink that had like, let's say 280 to 300 milligrams of caffeine. That is a lot, right? A cup of coffee is 90 just for context, right? And I would need this drink to write my paper.
Yeah.
Why would I need to buy a thing to write my homework? That's not good. That's not good.
Of course. Yeah.
And I feel like people are not using ChatGPT and AI as a tool. They're using it as is.
Yeah.
Like instead of when you're writing your big paper, your really big paper, instead of trying to find articles that could help you, you're like, no, write my whole goddamn paper. That's crazy.
It is.
So
It's wild to think about. We do have the show in like 45 minutes. Call time is 7:30. Do you want to wrap this up and pop out over there?
Fuck it, yeah.
I'll check how far away it is right now. I'm pretty sure it's like 15 minutes away, which would mean we gotta at the Sugar Hotties only. Michael Kittleston and Alicia Allsetter. Oh no, it's 7 minutes away. So if you wanted to cut it close.
all right. We're at the podcast. We're rapping and talking and chatting. We talked about Luigi. We talked about being broke, beating
100%.
children, AI, the things. We did things.
I dig it. I dig it for sure.
All right, y'all. We out.